And this bread comes with this emulsion. This emulsion has balsamic vinegar, olive oil, a little bit of black olive salt, and parsley. And the red one in the middle, this is a slice of pepper. The name is ají. Be careful, please. This is a little bit spicy.
We found this nice little restaurant inside the museum. We decided to stop for lunch before we continue exploring. They said you need a reservation, but the guy gave us a table anyway. Then we ordered some alpaca, which I've never had before. Looking forward to trying. But while we're waiting for it, he gave us this bread and this dipping sauce. Delicious.
Baked potato has chicken potato, such as la cacha, mashuas, and oca. Also comes with asparagus salted, and the base comes with bell pepper sauce. Okay? Have a good meal.
Gracias, senor. And this green stuff is called Inca Cola. It's sort of the local soda of Peru. First bite of alpaca. Yeah, it's pretty good. It tastes like alpaca. Oh, wow. These potatoes are really good. They have a different taste than the ones we have back in the States. Muy delicioso. One thing you'll notice about Cusco is that even though the city has a very traditional culture, just like all Latinos, Cusqueños love to party. In fact, we're fortunate enough because we chose an excellent time to visit Peru. Pretty much every day that we're going to be here, there's some festival going on, and in fact, we're on our way to one right now in the district of Santa Ana. This is the street we have to walk up to get to where the festival is. The Corpus de Santa Ana y San Joaquin honors the grandparents of Jesus Christ and combines Catholic ritual with indigenous music and dances. The official date of the festival is July 26th, though like most festivals in Peru, celebrations often start a day early. The procession commences around 3 p.m. and goes well into the night, often spilling over into the next morning. The main attraction of the festival are its array of masked dancers, among which are the colorful Alca Chileno dancers and the humorous Capa Coya dancers, who represent the legendary merchant weavers of the Altiplano. I arrived just in time for the procession. Catholic traditions intermixed with local traditions. highlight of the procession is the humorous Chukchu or Kokasaru dance. The masked dancers represent plantation workers who contracted malaria and yellow fever. The dancers often fall to the ground in violent convulsions and are treated by doctors and nurses with giant syringes.
This beautiful building right here is the Iglesia La Merced, which translates to Church of Our Lady of Mercy. It serves as both a church and a convent. This church contains a small museum of religious art as well as the remains of two famous conquistadors, Diego de Almagro and Gonzalo Pizarro. The original church was founded in 1535 by a woman named Reina Sebastian de Castaneda on the land donated by Francisco Pizarro. But the current church dates from 1654 because it had to be rebuilt after the great 1650 earthquake. This beautiful building you see behind me is the church and convent of St. Francis of Assisi, and construction of the current church began in 1645 after the demolition of an earlier church, but construction was interrupted by the great 1650 earthquake and it was completed the following year.
Monks living here, approximately 300 people. But now we have 4 seminaries in the second floor. They are studying for become good priesters, travel and get many different places to evangelize and preface. In this small gallery, we have many canvases represent a biography about San Francisco de Assisi. This canvas, my friend, we like to have this priestly house in various places. Many huge books, only books. The other books we have with your family, with your family health.
Over there in the distance you can see the San Pedro Church, which was built between 1688 and 1699 on the site of an earlier church that was destroyed in the 1650 earthquake. This is the former house of famous writer and chronicler Garcilaso de la Vega. He was nicknamed El Inca, and he was born here in Cusco on April 12, 1539 to a Spanish captain and an Inca princess. And his birth name was Gomez Suarez de Figueroa, and he spent the first 20 years of his life in this house, documenting the history, culture, and society of the Inca. In 1561, 2 years after his father's death, he moved to Spain, where he eventually died, and his former home now houses the Museum of Regional History. Right now I'm starting to feel the symptoms of altitude sickness. I have a slight headache, but luckily our hotel has these coca leaves in hot water, so you can bring yourself up some coca leaf tea. It's supposed to help.
Juan, mira, dice lo que Wari que tiene como 9,000 y tantos. Ya, 9,000 soles no nos llevan a hacer.
Yes, that's fine.
Y el resto de plata para meterlo en vino. ¿Ya llegó este de Jaime?
This building you see behind me is one of the most famous and most beautiful buildings in all of Cusco. It's the convent of Santo Domingo, and it was built in 1680 by Dominican priests from Spain atop a large Inca structure known as a Cori Concha. Now, the word Cori Concha roughly translates to golden courtyard, and back in the Inca days, this would have been the largest and most important temple to the sun god Inti. And right there you can see part of the Cori Concha right there. The church is built on top of it, and the top part of the temple would most likely be covered in gold. And some sections also would have been used to worship other lesser known gods, including the god of the moon, Venus, thunder, lightning, and rainbows. And it also served as the Inca's main astronomical observatory. San Blas, and this is considered to be the most beautiful and most vibrant neighborhood in Cusco, and it's known as the craftsman's district because this is where many of the city's most famous artists live, work, and pass down their trades from generation to generation. Right over there is the most famous landmark in San Blas. It's the San Blas Church. It was built in 1563, making it the city's oldest parish church. It's constructed atop an Incan temple dedicated to the worship of Urubamba, who is the god of thunder and lightning. Now if you're visiting San Blas, it's worth checking out a few of the neighborhood's beautiful art galleries, and the most famous is the Museo de Hilario Mendez. This museum is actually the personal gallery of Hilario Mendez, one of the most famous artists in all of Cusco. Hilario Mendez and his family have been creating art in this workshop for decades. His most famous pieces are actually controversial statues depicting Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and the archangels and saints with long necks. These long necks are supposed to represent the necks of vicuñas, and the statues are made from a mixed paste of maguey agave potatoes and plaster. This is yet another excellent example of how local culture has intermixed with Catholicism. This is the Museo Maximo Laura. It's another art gallery in San Blas that's really worth visiting. And this museum displays the most impressive works of 5th generation textile weaver Maximo Laura, who's considered to be one of the finest weavers in all of Cusco. I'm actually not much of an art person, and that, to be honest, art museums typically bore me, but something traditional like this I can do all day. Oh.